One other quick one, if I can. It's not a 2024, not a hatchet type question, let's put it that way.
That's what you think.
I challenge you, I don't think it is.
I know, I love how you're setting it up.
I'm getting that out of the way first. But Donald Trump is the front runner at the moment, clear front runner of the Republican Party. He wants to be president, and he's the front runner of his party to do so. This is somebody that President Biden has described as, a danger, literally a danger to the country and his movement, an existential threat to democracy, etc. So, candidate or not, is current President Biden, is he following the words and actions of Donald Trump on a fairly regular basis, considering he's a danger in his view?
So, look, appreciate the question, Sebastian. As you just laid out yourself, he is a candidate for 2024, and you're specifically talking about a result or what could potentially happen in that race, and I'm just not going to speak to it. What I can speak to is how the president is focusing on the American people and delivering for the American people. Here's what we know to be a threat. What we know to be a threat is the MAGA wing of the Republican Party and Speaker McCarthy, who are put forward a plan, a blueprint that's holding the American economy hostage. That's a threat. That's a threat to our economy. That's a threat to Americans across the country. We think about the 22% spending cut that they put forward. That's a threat to veterans. That's a threat to our education. And that's a threat to the American people who need these different programs to make ends meet. And so that's what we're going to focus on right now. Feel free to ask me a million questions about that, and I'll do my best to answer them. And so the president, when he makes his decision, he'll make his decision. It will not come from here. I will not be talking about 2024. I made that very clear as a government official. It's not something that I can do from here. But I'm happy to talk about how we're delivering here at the White House for the American people. Oh boy. Okay. All right, Michael.
Why have you been willing to talk about President Trump before? And were you in violation of the Hatch Act when you did so?
Absolutely not, because we're talking about what the president has done in the administration.
Not your president.
No, I know. I'm answering your question because I'm saying the President Trump. We were talking about what he did in the last administration. We were talking about policies that were harmful in the past administration. No. He asked me, does the president still believe that Donald Trump is a threat if he wins, right? Because he's a candidate. That's something different.
No, he didn't ask that.
Can I just say what I said? I was asking, is President Biden, does he follow the words and actions of this person, Donald Trump?
Yes, as a candidate, right? As a candidate. So yes, I'm saying I'm not talking about 2024. I'm not talking about What I have talked about.
Donald Trump has been a candidate for re-election or for election or however you want to call it.
I understand
like
that.
a year, and you've talked about him a lot.
Yes,
and what he's done a lot, as
I talked about his policies when he was president. That's what I have talked about. We've talked about his immigration policies, right? We've talked about how he separated babies from their parents. We've talked about that and how those policies were incredibly dangerous when he was president. That's what I have talked about. I've not talked about him as a candidate, and I'm not going to do that from here. I'm just not. I'm not going to talk about the polling. I'm not going to talk about what 2024 is going to look like. I'm not going to talk about that from here.